Welcome, Sonal. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. And what a heck of a party this is. This is just amazing. And that act, I just saw that video. I mean, it really put a smile on my face. I'm so happy today. And Ashwin, what an actor you are. What I hope you're going to use that video and put that up on YouTube or somewhere, right? Actually, I'm being honest, that's a masterpiece, just like The Godfather.
Thank you.
This is truly a masterpiece in the world of wine. You know, when Luca said, is everyone 21, when we were doing cheers, holding up our glasses and saying, is everyone 21? I'll tell you one thing, it's making me feel like I'm 21 again. Okay?
Oh,
so I feel 21.
21, Sonal.
No, of course. Congratulations on the launch of Frizzano. Frizzano is a term, as we know, as lightly sparkling. It refers in Italy to something that is lightly sparkling. It's lovely to drink something effervescent, particularly in weathers which we live. You know, we want something that will be refreshing, thirst quenching, uplifting, you know, energizing. And I think effervescent, lightly sparkling wines do exactly that. I'm also loving the fact that these are glass bottles. So as you know, more recently, there have been a lot of wines introduced in cans, and all of these aim to draw people who are young and who are young at heart to wines, right? And I like to think of it as wines that are more youthful rather than meant for the young, because we're forever young, right? We are only as young or old as we think we are. So I think these wines are perfect for drawing in people who feel truly young at heart. And I'm loving the fact that you've used screw caps for these wines. So nobody has to worry about having corkscrews or doing any kind of complicated opening. But it's fun that they are in these wonderful shaped, you know, very slim, tall, Alsace kind of bottles. So very flute, slender shaped. And I think the style of the wine sort of matches that kind of a style that's outside. But I'll go very quickly through the wines. Let's have a sip. You all have the wines that I do. So yeah. The Bianco Frizzano, it's just... Can
we have a Bianco myself?
Is everybody on to the Bianco? So Bianco refers to white. And to me, this is just lovely. It's floral, it's peachy. Yes, there's a bit of sweetness, but the sweetness is not cloying by any measure. It's very refreshing. It's energizing, as I said. There's a little tingliness on my palate, which is perfect because it's coming from that, you know, the effervescence, the spritziness of that wine. So that's lovely. I thought I'll try the Dolce next, just before the Forte, because Forte has slightly higher alcohol. So I thought I'll go for the 11% wine in the Dolce first.
Oh, great. Super.
You know, Ashwin, the Dolce really reminds me of a Moscato di Asti style. I know it's not the Moscato grape, but still, for those of you who don't know, Moscato di Asti is a very, very popular wine from Italy. And to me, this wine is highly reminiscent of a Moscato di Asti style. It's much riper on the nose. It's much more inviting. The peachiness is much fuller, much more smoother. And it's kind of quite captivating on the palate, because this is a wine that would pair well with not just spicy cuisine and our normal home-cooked cuisine, but would actually even work really well with salty food or contrast flavors, you know. So you could go with salty, you could go with blue cheeses, you could even go with slightly bitter foods. You know what I mean by bitter foods is a lot of our Indian vegetables, green vegetables, have a bitter edge. We don't realize it like that, but even our lentils, our dals, have a bitter finish. The Westerners feel that, we don't, because we've been eating this since childhood, but they kind of have a bitter finish. So wines that are slightly sweeter like that and perceptibly sweet can work really well. But I won't say too much about the food pairing, because I know Karen Anand, who's amazing and is really the stalwart of this field. I'm going to let her finish that off in terms of...
Sonal, if you could just hold out the bottle, please. Sonal.
Sorry, yeah?
Sorry, if you could just hold out the bottle, please, because this Dolce
so
is a
that's
special one on that. Yeah, so that's Bianco, which is out in the market now. But Dolce, which you tasted next, the next one is Dolce, right?
Yeah.
So this is a coming soon wine.
Quickly show you is again a white, and it has this word Forte written on it. And Forte stands for something that's fortified. And in this case, it's not vitamins and minerals. It's fortified with extra alcohol. It's at 15.5% alcohol. So as against the others, which are just 11.5, this one's 15.5, which by any wine standard, even a normal bottle of wine standard, is on the higher side. In the world of wines, when a wine is 15.5% alcohol, it's normally, we refer to it as sherry, because a lot of Fino sherries and, port sherry, I mean, port is much higher, but sherry. So we get into the spectrum of fortified wines. But I'm going to take a quick sip and tell you a little bit about this.
So, Sonal, sorry if I could just pipe in. So this is, though it's it says Forte, but it's actually not fortified, but it's naturally fermented.
Okay.
Up to the highest level of what's permissible in India, which is 15.5%.
So you pick the grapes late?
Yes, we pick it late.
So, Ashwin, honestly, the alcohol is so well integrated, because at 15.5%, I was expecting a very warming sensation at the back of my throat, and I thought it would feel slightly spirity, but this is not. It's I find the alcohol in very good balance, and overall the sweetness, the alcohol, it's all kind of balancing, and it's quite a harmonious, smooth wine. So it's not, alcohol sometimes in excess can also leave you not just with a warm, but also a very bitter sensation on the wine, especially when the alcohol is out of balance. But particularly on this wine, I don't find that. And again, I think in terms of sweetness, it kind of sits right between the Bianco and the Dolce, and it's kind of lovely there. But of course, 15.5% alcohol is, if you're really up for a night of party, then that's an amazing wine to go with.
Yes, Sonal, in fact, strong, Forte means strong.
Strong, yeah.
No, for that, so strong for strong people, for macho night or something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is, like you rightly said, Sonal, is you want to kickstart a party, like this is the way to go. Frizzano Forte. For instant results. Fast acting, it's like a fast acting Crocin you have. It's that.
Ashwin, you might as well add an extra line and say satisfaction guaranteed. Okay, the next one is Rosato, which of course Rosato, as the name suggests, stands for rosé in Italian. And it's a lovely color. It's this lovely salmon pink color, which is perfect because you don't want it to be too pink. I always find the color is an invitation to taste. So when the color is beautiful and it's elegant and it's not too much in the face, but at the same time, it's not too pale and dilute. So I think in terms of the hue, you kind of nailed it on the color. It's beautiful, actually. And just like a rosé should be, energizing again, very refreshing, very well balanced, not too acidic, very fresh, very young. And I'm getting this lovely strawberry and, like ripe cherry notes coming through, or raspberry, should I say. So it's got this sharbati kind of a feel to it, which is very attractive. And again, a wine like this would work perfectly with all kinds of vegetarian foods, because a lot of our vegetarian vegetables, especially, tend to be cruciferous ones, tend to be on the bitter side. So something like this, even with home cooked food, would be really lovely. Or just a hot, muggy afternoon. I would just sit by the pool, perhaps, and sip on this wine.
Of course, and let's say this also, for this year, for the first time, is coming on the market, this European market, the Prosecco Rosé. So again, we are going on that path. What else to add? What Sonal said, almost nothing, because she described so nicely these three wines, these first wines. I can just add this thing. Repeating a little bit what she said, Sonal, the fact is we are talking about daily wines. Exactly. How in Italian wines became a success? Through almost two wines. First, it was Lambrusco in the 80s, which is a very easy drinking, not very expensive wine in US. And now, what is the wine that is breaking the market? Is Prosecco. Started in UK and now is invading the market in US. The Prosecco overtook in terms of sales champagne, which is the sparkling wine. Why? Why? What is this? What is the difference? The first difference is in the wallet. Okay, Prosecco and these type of wines are much less expensive than a champagne. And second, easy drinking wines. These wines are perfect for something that is part of our life in Italy, but I hope it's going to become even in India. It's a sort of liturgy. It's called aperitivo. After a working day, we all come together, not now because everything is closing at 6 p.m. because of the COVID. We are almost in lockdown anyway. In normal life, we all meet together in the bar and we don't drink, as Sonal said, Sassicaia, Barolo, these type of wines, but very easy drinking casual wines. The last thing I tell you, as what is the Italian lifestyle in connection with the Italian collection of Frizzano, we have a saying in Italy: the meal without wine is called breakfast. This is how the wine is part of our life, but you have to drink an easy drinking wine, low in alcohol, not the wine that you need a steak, that stick to drink a glass of wine. Okay?
Great, thank you, Luca. And then finally, we're on to this lovely red color, which is called the rosso, which means literally red in Italian. And as you can see, the red is not very deep in color. And this wine to me, again, reminds me of a Lambrusco style, which is so famous. And I have so many friends even today asking me for a Lambrusco from Italy because they really enjoy a red wine, which is sparkling and it's slightly sweet on the palate. And it's kind of has those spicy cherry sort of notes. So Lambrusco is the wine that's drunk on an everyday basis all across Italy and has found quite a fan following all around the world. And to me, this wine reminds me of that sort of a style where it's got these lovely cherry, raspberry, strawberry sort of notes. And a lot of people who are new to wine, they don't want the dryness that comes from the tannins, you know, typically from the big, bold, chewy wines that we know of, which is the Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot or Shiraz. They don't like the tannins. So somebody who's just looking for something to drink without thinking too much about having to chew food with it, or somebody who just wants to relax, and somebody who prefers a red all the way, somebody who wishes to have red even during the day. We have so many friends who are such red loyalists and they refuse to have any other color. So if you are one of those who just wishes to sip on a red, even during the day, then a wine like this with no tannins and just lots of lovely ripe fruit, a nice sweet edge on the finish, and maybe some hints of spice to it, can be a great complement either with simple food or with just on its own. And it'd be perfect with that pizza actually that arrived earlier today. So I'm going to enjoy this one with that pizza. But really, I'm a strong believer that it's easier to complicate wine and it's even more difficult to simplify it. There is a desperate need in the wine world to make wine affable, approachable, and affordable. And this is what today's wine drinkers in India and all over the world want. The wine industry in many ways has shot itself in the foot by overcomplicated wines, intentionally or unintentionally. So it is time to now unlock our creativity and our ways of communicating about wine to bring wine to wine lovers like you in a way that you desire. We all need to simplify our wine lifestyle. And I think the best way to simplify wine lifestyle is just think about 3 or 4 things. One, think about what the occasion is. And if the occasion is just hanging out with friends, chilling out with cousins, just having a family get together, or you know, the idea is not to over intellectualize wine. The idea is to just sip on some lovely, easy drinking wine and create memories over great conversations and you know, live to tell the, you know, the wild times, you know. So if you're just looking to do something like that, wines like these play to those occasions really well. Yeah, I just, you know, I would say drink these wines young, fresh. There's no point in keeping these bottles for too long in your wine cellars. They're meant to be drunk young. They're meant to be drunk fresh. They're meant to be drunk cold. It's important you chill them. And for the Dolce especially, don't feel worried about adding an ice cube or two in your glass, because something that is as sweet as the Dolce would be
I added some ice in my glass.
Enjoyable with an occasional cube of ice, especially if you think your wine is not chilled enough, because sweet wines really need to be drunk and enjoyed at lower temperatures. The lower the temperature, the more refreshing and tantalizing it'll be on the palate. And most importantly, enjoying it with friends and creating amazing memories. So my heartiest congratulations again to Ashwin and the entire team at Good Drop and Luca, and all the very best, guys. You have a fan in me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the heartfelt.
Thank you very much,
was, you know,
Sonal.
felt here at the heart. Thank you so much, Sonal.
Thank you.